How did I go from this guy who was unattractive, not confident and sat at home being an absolute goblin to this guy who's starting his own business, training, building a new network and going and chasing all the dreams that he's ever wanted with his life. I'm going to show you how I made this transformation, and it's not a glow up in a sense with all these YouTubers talking about becoming this TikTok femboy. This is about becoming more masculine, how to glow up as a man. As you can see, I am not some hyper attractive Calvin Klein model looking guy. I'm just a normal guy who's made the transformation. So if anything, that should be more beneficial for you, because you can see that and think, you know what, if he can do it, I can do it. I could probably do it better. So keep that in mind. My family ain't rich. I'm not, like I said, super handsome. So this is what I had to go through. I realised for me to get what I want out of life, I had to level myself up. And whether you want to admit it or not, the reason we do it is for attraction. So we can find a good girl, someone that we can wife up. But in order for us to do that, we need to become the best man that we can. And I realised for me, I gotta get my shit together if I'm to do that. And not only that, to live a life that I'm proud of and that I can call myself a bit of a G. So the first thing I did, you probably know this already, is get jacked. Getting jacked is a cheat code. Clothes fit better. You can actually buy cheaper clothes and still look good. And plus, you develop high tier amounts of discipline, which is the first time it ever clicked in my mind what discipline was. And this can transfer into all the other areas of your life, like your work, your studies. And even if you don't want to become shredded and jacked, just focus on these two things. So number one is to lower the amount of face fat you have. Try to hold as little face fat as possible. So you cut or be in a deficit to the point where your face is slimmer, so you can sort of see your jawline. That helps. And the other thing is to at least build some sort of a V-taper. So when you wear a t-shirt or you're wearing some clothes, you at least look broad at the top and narrow at the bottom. So you don't need to be shredded with a six-pack and you don't need to be massive, but try to build that V-taper up. And I've got plenty of videos on training, so I'm not going to go over that now. Next is to improve style. This for me was massive because I didn't really know how to dress up. I didn't know what my style was. So it took me a good it takes a couple of years to actually start to find your style, but look at the trends and see what fits you. Don't just be following trends just because you see trends. For me, like that smart casual, relaxed fit type guy. I don't really wear much, like super tailored clothes or anything like that. And I'm not the complete hype beast either. Not really my style. So have fun with this. This is actually one of the most enjoyable parts. Build up that wardrobe over a couple of years. Keep this mentality. You're not trying to completely change your wardrobe in 2 months. And another one, bro, get yourself a piece. The amount of compliments I've gotten for just having a watch. This ain't no Omega or Tag or some flipping Rollie. It's just a Casio watch, but it's simple, it's elegant and it's masculine. Guys have watches. Make sure you've got a timepiece on your left hand at almost all times. I've had the same watch for about 3 years. I took it on holiday, I wear it to the gym, I wear it everywhere. The next one, and this is very personal to me, is growing some sort of facial hair. From my personal experience, facial hair has always saved me better. I've got more attention, I've got more things come my way from having some facial hair. This is what I've noticed. So for me, to be honest, bro, my beard started growing at 22, so don't feel like if you're 21 or 22 that all my beard's not here yet. It might just take time. My boys had beards when they were 15, because you got to remember, for guys, it's different. People's beards come out at different times, different stages. I did derma roll, but I don't know if that made a difference. But if you really want that beard, you can try derma rolling. And if you don't want a beard, bro, if you can grow goatee, grow goatee. I always think some sort of facial hair is better. That's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of guys that look good, that look classy, that look clean without any facial hair. But this is just from my experience. Growing some sort of facial hair has helped me just in terms of improving my face structure. And the type of haircut I get is a taper. So when I have a beard, I can fade it in, which looks a bit cleaner for me. If I had to make a second coffee for this video, this is that bad boy video. Even I'm happy with this one. Right, next one is eat better food. Food, why? What's the point of it? Food gives you better energy, helps you focus more, better for your digestive system, which actually influences your mood, if you didn't know. Good food prevents spot breakouts. People have spots and oily food. You can more chances of getting spots on your face and all that stuff. And obviously helps you build muscle and stay leaner. When I say good foods, I just mean foods that are more natural. Put very, very simply, the less processes that piece of food has to go through before getting to your plate, the better. And that's just my opinion. When I stick to whole foods, when I stick to my natural protein sources, and I repeat that on a long period of time, that's when I see the most progress mentally, physically, even spiritually, because I can focus a lot more on my deen as well. Minimize snacking, and I eliminated alcohol completely. I quit drinking when I was 21, I think, and I've never looked back since. I don't surround myself around that environment anymore, but that's just my personal opinion. I save a lot of time and I've got other things to work on anyway. So next thing is, brother, tidy your living space. This is an absolute cheat code, and I'll tell you why. Right now, everything I've talked about is almost on the external. So when you're outside, when you're dealing with people, they'll be able to see, for example, the facial hair, and they'll be able to see how you're in shape and you dress well. But tidying your living space is something that no one else can see. It's you, and you're on your own. No one's there, no one's watching, it's just you. And the reason why I want you to do this is because this will start to shift your glow up and your leveling up from external to internal. This starts to change your self-image, the way you see yourself. You don't just want to appear as someone who's glowed up, masculine, tidy and strong. You actually want to be that person. And how do you be that person? You do it behind closed doors. The actions that you're doing outside correlate with the actions that you do inside. That's when you will start to change your self-image. If you're dressed well and you're tidy and you're not confident on the outside, and you come back home and your room's an absolute shithole, your kitchen's not tidy, everything's all over the place, table's a mess, and you want to do work and you're sat there scrolling, there's always going to be a detachment between the person who you want to be, who is the guy who's tidy and clean, and the person you are, because when you come home, it's an absolute mess. So start to tidy things at home, and I promise you, you will start to feel like you're changing as a person. Because when I step into my room now, I'm like, yo, I am on job. Like, genuinely, I love stepping into my room now, because when I'm outside, I try my best to dress well, be presentable, be approachable, happy and confident. And then when I'm in the flat, I'm like, okay, calm. This is my flat. This is my room. I'm proud of my room. It's tidy, it's clean. That just shows the mentality and the level of person I am. And when you do that repeatedly, you'll start to change who you are as a person. This is some mad psychology, but trust me on this. Next thing is learning how to fight. You need to know the basics at least of how to fight, because if you come into a confrontation on the outside and you're on the streets and some guy knows some sort of martial arts and you don't, your ass is getting cooked. You're going to be put to sleep. And I learned that firsthand when I started Muay Thai a couple of years ago. I realised how much I didn't know. You're literally swimming with sharks. Learn the basics of some sort of martial arts. You don't need to be a UFC champion, so don't have to throw hands, learn how to defend yourself, so at least I can protect myself and someone around me and the people I care about if something goes on. Like, you walk with a different aura, you walk with a different sense of pride and sense of confidence, because you know you can protect yourself if the time comes. Doesn't mean you have to walk around, picking fights, but in the back of your head, I can handle myself if push comes to shove. Now the next up is try some cool shit. Just try some things with your life. This is my opinion. As guys, we're not built to just follow one road and do the same thing that every other guy's doing. We're built, in my opinion, to explore. We used to be the hunter-gatherers. We used to go out there in the jungle and fight the animals and bring the food back, explore new territory. And now we can't really do that in our world, but we can do it in an extent where we can explore something we've never done before. And I realised this when I first started, website building, when I started to write my first blogs. I had to learn loads of new skill sets, learning how to write, learning how cloud hosting works and all that, plugins and everything. And I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool, because you're starting to develop yourself as a person. And then the same thing with YouTube. It's a completely uncharted territory. I started a year ago. I had no idea how to hold a camera, I had no idea how to edit, no idea how to plan, no idea how to do anything. But when I put myself in that deep end, when I tried something new, it's almost like leveling myself up in the video game. So I put myself out of my comfort zone, I stick with it, and the next thing you know, level 3 nothing has appeared, then level 5, and then level 6, then level 7. But you can't level up unless you go to a new level and try and fight that boss of that level. It's the same way. Pick something new, try something that no one else around you is doing, but not for that reason, just because you want to see what you're capable of. If you don't push yourself and get out of your comfort zone, you're never gonna find out who you truly are. And I genuinely believe attraction is not just about your face and your body, it's about the things that you've done, because that gives you the evidence of the kind of person that you are. Now when I walk into a room and I'm meeting some high class individuals, or if I meet a girl, I can tell her about the things I've done. I can say, look, I worked on a YouTube channel, I've helped thousands of guys hopefully get in shape and develop their mindset, and that's a story in itself. If you've not tried anything new, if you've not done anything, you'll just be sat there like, oh yeah, I got 3 kills on Warzone yesterday, and I also made toast and eggs. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lack of substance if you've not done anything, and that really helps with your attraction, because then when you walk around, you've got like an aura about you that, you know what, I've stuck to something. I went to uncharted territory, I tried it, and I'm fighting to build something that no one's told me how to do it. I've given it a go. That develops a certain type of confidence. It's very hard to explain unless you've done it yourself. Try something new, step in something you're uncomfortable with, and you will glow up physically. I promise you, even your structure, the way you look, the way you appear to people and yourself will change, but you have to step out your comfort zone.